Hello everyone, welcome to the Orange Thumbstick Podcast. This is episode 26. Thank you as always for listening. If you're a subscriber on iTunes or Android, thank you so much. If not, please subscribe to us on iTunes or Android and YouTube as well, because we're on there, and drop us a like as well. It's very much appreciated. Quite a few things to go through this week. As always, I'm joined by Mr. Bobby Fales. How are you, sir?
Not bad, mate. Not bad. Self?
Sure? Are you sure?
Well, we'll tell them the story of what you've done on April Fool's Day to us, but I'm good.
And Russ, as always, are you there?
I'm here, mate.
He's there.
I'm here.
He's there. How was your Easter weekend, fellas? Bobby, I'll start with you. How was yours?
Did everybody hear in his voice there that he was trying not to laugh as he said, "I'll start with you"? Did everybody hear that? Because he knows how my Easter weekend went. He knows, and I'm gonna let you tell everybody because I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Basically, in a nutshell, me and Russ come up with an April Fool's for Bobby. We were quite short on time. It was about, what was it, Russ? About 20 minutes before the deadline, the April Fool's deadline, and we decided to get Bobby, and I typed up a massive long email, and basically stating that I was leaving the site due to some foul-mouthed conversations that were had. And what happened, Bob? You paced up and down in your pants and threw your phone. Is that right, or something?
I was sitting. I was about to go jump in the shower, so I was in my boxers about to go get showered to go out and have a family meal. It was Easter Sunday, and I get this message come through. And I've got to give it to you, Dave. If you've done that in 15 minutes, it's a shame your reviews aren't up to the calibre of that email, because it was huge.
How would you know? You don't even read them.
I'll give you that. So yeah, I read it, and straight away I went, April Fool's, that happened in my life. And then as time passed, Dave didn't back down. And we were in a group chat talking to each other, and I was like, nah, I can see through it. I feel you. And then he messages on the side, and he was like, no, Bob, I'm serious. I didn't even realise it was April Fool's Day, and blah, blah, blah. And then I started to believe it, and he basically said he was leaving because of me, and I just started losing it. And then I thought, it has to be an April Fool's Day, so I'll try and turn it around. So the missus, my girlfriend Emma, decided to message Russ and say that I just pulled a big, massive tantrum and chucked my phone and smashed it everywhere and stormed out and tried to turn it around. But Russ knew straight away that I was just trying to flip the April Fool's back. So, yeah, that didn't work. But, yeah, I went full circle. Didn't believe yous, started believing it a little bit, and then went back to not believing it, trying to flip it back on yous, and none of it worked. And I even tried to guilt trip Dave by saying, look, I'm going for a meal with my family. Can we talk about this later? Because I don't want it on my mind whilst I'm there, and I'll have to speak to Russ. And he didn't even have the decency to say straight away, this is an April Fool's. He actually sent the message. He sent the message about 30 minutes later, and I never. The worst bit about it is I never seen his message saying April Fool's. So as I'm sitting eating me dinner with my family, my phone's in my pocket, and I'd never seen the message with Dave saying April Fool's, mate. So yeah, my weekend was great.
just to bring the listeners up to speed, what happens is we have an XGR chat where we'll all have a bit of banter, and we'll throw ideas backwards and forwards with me in the chat and whatever. And sometimes we wind Bobby up about not reading some of the reviews. He reads all the reviews, just to let everybody know. But I think it was one Bobby.
Yours. I don't read yours, and I'm not going to know.
So we have a bit of banter backwards and forwards in this XGR chat. And I put in the email that I felt that Bobby's tone in the chat had actually was unacceptable, and some of the things that he was coming up with was unacceptable, and that's where the April Fool's stemmed from. So I'm not going to apologise, Bobby, because it was funny as hell, and Russ will back me up on that, because as you've been explaining that, I can hear him laughing in the background.
It was all my idea.
Everything.
That's the worst bit about it. That was the worst bit about it. I even sat down at one point and thought, right, I'm wrapping in. all of this drama I'm wrapping in, because Russ is going to have a go at us now, saying that I'm losing people and stuff, and I was like, I'm wrapping in. I'm done. And then that's when I started going full circle. So yeah, good joke, mate. Good joke. GG.
I've got visions of Bobby walking around with his boxers on, his hat on, having a right strap.
Me and Dave did discuss earlier as well that while you disappeared to get a drink or whatnot when we were setting up for the podcast, that we was going to drag it out to today as well.
It was, yeah.
I know. I did hear that in my headset. I heard you say a little bit that you were going to drag it out on the podcast. I would have, if you had done this on the podcast, I wouldn't have been taking part in this week's. I would have just turned my Xbox off and went in a huff. And I would have rage quit.
Brilliant.
Oh, nothing new there then.
Yeah.
So April Fools aside, we're all good. XGR's good. It was just an April Fool's joke with Bobby, which was incredibly funny. Me and Russ got some kicks out of it anyway.
It was good.
So, what have you been playing? Russ, I'll start with you this time. What have you been playing this last week?
Far Cry 5, mate. I think we've all been on that, haven't we?
We have.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm currently reviewing it for the site at the moment. Yeah, it's. I don't want to say too much because I don't want to spoil my review, but I'll let you guys talk first. Bobby, what are you making of it so far? I know we've jumped into co-op for a little bit, haven't we? And I know you've played some single player. What are you making of it at the moment?
So far, throughout everything that I've seen and played, a bit cutscene heavy. That was kind of getting on my nerves. But out of all of the missions I've played, there's only been one, and I played it with Russ. There's only been one mission where I've been sitting there like, this is just a grind. Everything else I've thoroughly enjoyed. Really, really getting into it. I've literally just came off it so we can record the podcast, and I'll be going straight back on. I'm addicted to it.
Yeah. Russ, what about you? I know you're a bit of a Far Cry fan.
I am a Far Cry fan. I'd agree with Bobby, that one mission that we was doing on Saturday morning was a grind.
It was, yeah.
It was a horrible grind. Once we got it done, it was a case of thank goodness for that. But I think we swore. As for, I disagree with you on the cutscene thing. I absolutely love story-heavy games. You know I do. And as I said to you guys when I first started playing it, one thing that Ubisoft do well is cutscenes, in my opinion. That opening cutscene to Far Cry 5 is just fantastic.
Oh, the opening one's amazing. Amazing.
And all the story stuff I enjoy as well. I was in a bit of a gaming funk as well when it's managed to pull me out of it. So,
was you getting a bit fatigued? Did you get the game?
I was
fatigued
like,
kicking in?
what do I play? And I was finding myself playing bloody Rocket League.
Yeah,
and I've really gone off it, but that was all I was playing because it's my go-to game.
I think what happens in a situation like that is you have a pile of shame of games that you really want to play, you want to get into because you know they're going to be good, but then you can't decide what to play, so you go back to what you're comfortable with. And with you, it's Rocket League. With me, it's sometimes it's FIFA. With Bobby, it's Kitty Powers. So
love a bit of Kitty Powers.
You know what? I understand that. I get that.
Game going.
Like I say, I don't want to spoil my review too much. The one thing that I've noticed with Far Cry 5 is, and it's going to sound like a bit of a cliche, it's very Far Cry. If you're familiar with any other Far Cry game, you're going to feel right at home with this one. With the whole sort of, where the platforms are to climb with the draping ropes and things like that. A lot of the gameplay mechanics are going to be very familiar. A lot of talk has been around about the villain and whether he was going to be as good as Vars from Far Cry 3. But currently, he's a good villain. I don't think he's anywhere near that standard, though, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. But it's a good game so far. It's very Far Cry. It's very it's wacky. I think the one thing that got me was all the build up to it. I thought to myself, this game's going to be really political and it's going to have a real sort of serious message. And while the message it's trying to deliver is quite, it has its serious aspects to it, it's still wacky Far Cry. blowing up bears with bazookas, or diving out of a moving vehicle to crush a load of enemies and stuff. It's just great. It's wacky stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some sequences in there as well, isn't there? I don't know how you guys feel about this. Some of the sequences that are in there, the kind of they're like dream state frequencies and dream state sequences that happen, and I'm not sure about that part, but yeah. But apart from that, it's good. I'm enjoying it so far. What do you make of the villain in it? Because a lot is focused around the Far Cry villains. What do you make of the main villain and obviously the sub villains that sort of operate alongside him? Russ?
I think he's a good villain, if that makes sense. Not good as in he's a good guy, but as a villain, he's good.
Yeah.
That whole cult thing. It has little bits of Bray Wyatt in him. I've been a wrestling fan. I can see little bits of that whole Bray Wyatt thing.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy Bray Wyatt's character in wrestling. So maybe that's a bit of influence there into me liking him. And the same for the sub villains as well.
Good. So yeah, we've pretty much been on Far Cry. There's a couple of things that I want to go through. First one is, this is an interesting one, Russ, and you raised this. You was the one that posted it into the XGR sort of chat. No Man's Sky is coming to Xbox One. Former PlayStation 4 exclusive.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be released on Xbox this year. And a bit of a statement from the developers, Hello Games. It says, in the last 18 months, Hello Games and No Man's Sky's community of avid followers have continued to build out the game through 3 major updates: Foundation, Pathfinder, and Atlas Rises. The dozens of smaller patches included in a number of reworks and adjustments to the game are all going to be coming to the Xbox One version. We are calling this next step No Man's Sky Next, because it is an important next step in a journey for No Man's Sky as a game. For Hello Games and for our devoted community, we've decided to release this as a free update. Each update for No Man's Sky has been more successful than the last. This was especially true of our latest update, Atlas Rises. It emboldens the team to push ourselves further. This journey is far from over, and it's exciting to be working again on something will surprise people. Xbox One owners will be able to explore the vast generated universe later in 2018, including all content developed to date and a lot more surprises from next yet to be announced. 505 Games will distribute the physical copy at Xbox One version worldwide. What do you make of this? I'll start with you, Bob. What do you make of it?
I think it's great. I'm looking forward to checking it out. I mean, I think the closest thing we've had to No Man's Sky is Astroneer, if I'm correct. So yeah, I'm looking forward to checking it out, because this has kind of been the one that all the ponies have been like, well, you don't have No Man's Sky, so now we do.
Do you know what, though? I was glad we didn't have No Man's Sky. I didn't like the look of it at all. I thought it looked crap. That's just my opinion.
I wouldn't mind checking it out. Like, I've always thought it's worth a look.
Ross, what about you? What are you thinking about this? You feeling it, or is it something you want to get into?
Again, we'll probably check it out just for the sake of checking it out, but it bombed, didn't it? Let's be honest. Absolutely bombed on PS. I don't think it will do any better on Xbox. The amount of people that would have seen it bombed. And just going off that alone, they won't take into account that it's been updated and it's now called No Man's Sky Next. So it's that initial bit of news, the initial release, it sticks with everybody, isn't it? So,
yeah. What concerns me about this is what you've just said, Russ. It bombed when it first came out. Now, I know they've just said here that they've released, major updates and little updates as time has gone on. The major updates being Foundation, Pathfinder, and Atlas Rises, plus all the other dozens of little smaller patches that adjusted certain things and whatever else. Now, they've said here, right, that the next patch is going to be free to current owners on the PlayStation 4. That's great and all, but Xbox One owners are going to get completely done over here, because you could probably pick No Man's Sky for about £7 or £8 on PlayStation 4. So effectively, with that free update, you're going to get No Man's Sky next for about £7 or £8. They're going to come out and they're going to charge full price for this on Xbox One.
Yeah.
I see where you're
coming
to
from.
me doesn't.
Yeah.
Now, if they've got an RRP for No Man's Sky as it stands at the moment, considering it's been out sort of a year and a half, probably a little bit longer than that now, I think. If they're sort of at a reduced RRP of 20, 25 quid and they release it at that price, I'll hold my hands up and say fair enough, fair play. But if they're going to come out and release this at 40, 50 quid, I think that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
They shouldn't do that.
No.
They should have a bit of a compromise, really. I mean, you go to any sort of
they're going to want to,
retailer,
aren't they? Because they're obviously going to be aware of the bad publicity the game had, so they're going to want to entice as many Xbox players that they can to pick the game up. So surely they're going to want to price it reasonably. End of the day,
I'd like to think so. And if they do, brilliant, fair play to them. 20, 25 quid, I think would be a fair price.
Yeah.
You can pick it up pre-owned for 7 or 8 quid, brand new, on average 15 to 20 quid, as I say. So in that respect, yes, if they bring it out at that price point, that's fine, no problem. But if they bring it out at 40, 50 quid, I'm sorry, it's going to fail before it's even been released.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a game that I'm fussed about. I wasn't fussed about it when it first came out. It was very, very adventurous, and I'm sure we've all seen that Jurassic Park video going around.
I love it.
That just sums No Man's Sky up for me. And these updates, they might have added something fresh and new and improved the game and whatever else. But it was an ambitious title that didn't work out. But we'll see. We'll reserve judgment until it's released, and going in maybe with a fresh pair of eyes. Might give a different opinion, I don't know. But that's going to be out later this year, distributed, published by 505 Games, and there's no set release date yet, but they've said it's coming this year, so keep your eyes out for that one. Another one, which, Bobby, are you going to file a lawsuit on this one?
I think I'm going to have to, mate.
Because this is really spooky. Like we've had a few sort of things go on where we've kind of mentioned things that have come true and whatever else, but this I never thought would ever happen.
And that is
the pronunciation. Yeah, this is the pronunciation of remastered, right? Say it, Bobby. How do you pronounce it?
Remastered.
Remastered. So it's very, very upper class, right? And then all of a sudden, we get an announcement. Red Faction Guerrilla is getting a remastered edition. Not remastered. Remastered. Now, for anybody that doesn't know the Red Faction series, for anybody that doesn't know the Red Faction series, it's based on planet Mars. So they've kind of put a little bit of a pun in there. But it is, Bobby, I'd sue. I would. I'd file a lawsuit here. This is copyright.
I did actually bring this up in the pub on Friday with everyone, the way that you say master and I say master, and everybody who I was with said master. I think it's a northern thing.
I don't think it is a northern thing. It's remaster.
Mm-hmm.
Well, everyone around here was saying master.
So it's a Geordie thing, then.
Is that why? Yeah. Is that why you was all like in your silk jackets with your cigarette holders and your monocles?
Hello, gentlemen. Oh,
fancy a tipple of baby sham?
Basically,
by the way, old chap, how do you pronounce it? Is it remastered or remastered? Oh, Bobby, don't be so silly, old chap. It's remastered.
That is exactly how it happened, literally.
Now get that Lambrini down your neck.
If you feel a wee posh, you get the Lambrini cherry as well, don't you?
Oh God! So yeah, THQ Nordic has announced that Red Faction Guerrilla will be fully remastered, pun proudly intended in brackets here, and released on Xbox One, PC, and PlayStation 4 in Q2 of 2018. The game will go by the name of Red Faction Guerrilla Remastered, and destruction will remain its middle name, basically. More information on the release date will be announced in due time. More info about the game can be found on the website. So for anybody that doesn't know about Guerrilla, it's basically set 50 years after the events of the original Red Faction. So it basically allows players to take the role of an insurgent fighter. He's basically got a new re-established sort of Red Faction group, and they're basically battling for liberation. So it's a good game. I don't know whether it kind of warrants a re-release and a remaster. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll discuss that in a second. So the special features in the remastered edition are fully reworked graphics, heavily reworked textures and graphic features, adding, for example, specular maps, improved shadow rendering, improved lighting, shader and post-processing rework, native 4K support for the finest up-to-date Mars. Destruction is profound as ever, and the console platforms are Xbox and PlayStation. What do you make of it? Bobby, I'll start with you again. Did you play any of the Red Faction games?
I didn't, but I think that this one is going to be fantastic.
Okay.
Tumbleweeds.
Yeah, I'd like to see it.
Get me fantastic again. I'm going to check it out simply because they've said mastered. So I'm checking it out literally just for that. But I never played any of the originals, no. I think
this is another one that I believe was recently on Games with Gold or backwards compatibility. Sure it was. A few months ago. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to check my game library while I'm asking Russ about it. Russ, what Red Faction for you, mate? Did you play many of the other ones?
I played the original and remember being a bit mind blown by the fact that you could destroy everything. And I remember spending hours just driving around in the drilling machines, just drilling through rock.
Yeah.
And I played a bit of Guerrilla,
well known for that.
And it was only probably an hour's worth, if that. And I can't remember why I didn't play more than. I just remember playing a bit of it. And yeah, it wasn't really a series I was fully into. I just remember thinking, oh, I'll check this out because it's fully destructible.
It was actually Red Faction Armageddon that was released on Games with Gold, which was the follow-up to Red Faction Guerrilla.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't know. Red Faction, it's a good franchise. It's a good series. I'd rather them release a new IP. A new version or maybe a reboot of the game or maybe a new IP using the engine. I don't know, but yeah, it's a bit of an odd one. But look what happened with Burnout Paradise. I was questioning that, and then when it came out, it was a pretty decent remaster. So who knows?
Remaster.
We'll have. Yes, but us commoners say remaster. Or use that with your bloody monocles and your comb overs that look like hats and your silk jackets.
Who made nice hat?
But yeah, that's it's coming in Q2 this year, so again, keep an eye out for that. I'm hoping it's good because Guerrillas, it was a decent game when it came out, so if they've improved it enough, I'm sure it'll sort of stand the test of time. Games with Gold has been announced for April. As we're into April now, The Witness is available to download.
Boo.
I haven't played that myself. Any good?
It's all right to start with. I guess very repetitive, and then the final puzzle, you've got to have the patience of or whatever to complete the final puzzle. It needs to be perfect, and it's you got to do it fast. You got to do it quick, and you got to get it's like multiple puzzles in one. It's all timed.
Okay.
And there's no thingies for it either, like guides online, because it's a randomized puzzle. So you've got to basically get lucky with doing it. But before all of that, like leading up to it, it's all pretty much the same sort of stuff, and it's just broken into different areas. If I remember right, Bob, that's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right, mate. That's correct.
So it's
I was
more of
looking forward to
a.
it when it came out, and
It's like
too repetitive for me.
bit of a walking sim with some puzzles thrown into it. That's the vibe I got off of that game.
Okay. So that's The Witness then. That's from the 1st to the 30th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the 16th of April to the 15th of May, we've got Assassin's Creed Syndicate, which is a great Assassin's Creed game. I'm chuffed about that. I will definitely look to jump back into that game because there was a few things that I didn't get to finish. I finished the main sort of story, but there was a lot of side missions I didn't get to do, and so that's a great addition. On Xbox 360, and of course backwards compatible with Xbox One, from the 1st to the 15th of April, we've got Disney Pixar Cars 2. Bobby, I know you'll be into that one. You reviewed 3, didn't you, last year?
I did. I reviewed 3. It was a really good game. Really, really good game. So I am going to check it. I know that Russ is giggling because it's a kid's game, he sees it as, but I'm actually going to check it out because the third one was great.
Yeah. Your review for number 3 was actually a good review. I read that one, unlike what you do with my reviews.
Hold on a minute. It was actually good reviews. It's actually good reviews. Does that mean the rest of the reviews are shite?
No, but it was actually a good review. I mean, the score that you gave it was a good review.
Are you sure that's what you meant?
Yes, I'm absolutely positive.
Yours are all crap.
Thank you. From the 16th to the 30th of April, on Xbox 360, and of course backwards compatible with Xbox One, we have Dead Space 2. Brilliant game. Love that.
Bobby, you've got to play it.
Brilliant. Yeah.
I really don't want to. Really don't want to play that game, and I've seen clips for it, and it's not for me.
Get your votes in now, people, for Bobby to play Dead Space 2 during the next live stream. # Bobby plays Dead Space 2 on Twitter. We get 100 of those. You can play it next week.
Wait, you get a gun in if I'm right in thinking, you get a gun in Dead Space 2, don't you?
Multiple guns.
Kill.
Russ is stuttering. He's stuttering. Look, you can tell he's filling his pants.
Hold on. Can you play multiplayer or not? Single player only?
Single player only, isn't it?
I think
co-op.
I think 3 was co-op. I don't think 2 was.
I might check it out. I might even put a stream up. I know this one.
You heard
I might just do it.
You heard it here. It's just confirmed that he's going to consider doing it.
I am.
It's all right, Bobby. You play Cars 2, mate. It'll be all right.
I'll stream Cars 2 instead, most probably.
Oh dear. So, it's that time, Bobby.
What time is it, Dave?
It's time for Bobby Fails presents Something for the Weekend.
This week in Something for the Weekend, we're going to take a look at Enigmatic 3, The Shadow of Carcala. It's released on the 6th of April 2018, priced at £11.99, which is $14.99 and €14.99. It's a little bit like the rest of the Artifacts Money games, where the point-and-click adventure style. But this one is telling you the story after the detectives are returning to Maple Creek and uncovering new evidence about the Preacher's enigmatic plan. So it's the final chapter of the blockbuster trilogy, and it's an exciting detective story. Loads of adventure and puzzles in. I've played a little bit of it and really enjoyed it. There wasn't much on offer this week for the ID Xbox games, and I would always pick an Artifacts Monday game out of anything else that was coming out of the really good games. So yeah, definitely something you should check out, and it finishes off the story, especially if you've played the other ones.
Thank you for that, Bobby. So yeah, everybody check that out. If you're stuck for something to play, check that out on the store. Russ, plug in a website, social media and video channels.
Yes, don't forget to head over to our website, xboxgamerreviews.com, find the latest news, reviews over there, and you can also follow us on Twitter at xbox_gr, and on Facebook too, that's facebook.com/xboxgamerreviews, and YouTube is youtube.com/xboxgamerreviews.com. Don't forget you can follow us on Mixer as well, and check out our streams when we go live, that's mixer.com/xboxgamerreviews.
Wonderful. Thank you ever so much to everybody that's listening. And as I said at the start of the show, if you're a subscriber, thank you. If not, please subscribe on iTunes, Android, and YouTube as well, and drop us a like. I think that's it for this week. Me and Russ are off to try and get Bobby a new hat. We'll see you next week.
Ta-da.